Hey engineers, this is Keegan from Poindexter by Design. Ever get tired of giant, messy configuration tables? Well, today we're going to be talking about how Onshape's configurations offer super flexibility with folder configurability. Subfolders may sound mundane, but they will level up your CAD game. Does that count as a rhyme? Subfolders in Onshape let you group parts, subassemblies, or even mates in the feature tree into convenient organizers. It keeps everything really neat and accessible. So I recommend doing that just in general. So for example, I have things grouped into made to specification as well as off the shelf. But I have all of these loose hardware items just sort of floating around here. It really clutters up the tree. So it's easy to just pre-select everything with the shift. I right click and select add selection to folder. Let's call it hardware or something descriptive. And now I've really cleaned up my tree. So that's nice, but most people would be familiar with that use of folders. But what you may not know is that now you can act on this folder that you've created inside the configuration table. So before we act on this one, I want to show you. So we have a couple configurations here for carriage position. It also started being able to toggle motors on and off. Motors aren't currently in the configuration table yet. So traditionally you would just select each of these motors and choose to configure them in your motors configuration table. But instead, you can folderize them and then act on the folder in the table. So now when I click the motors on or off, I've only added one column to my motors configuration table, keeping it lean, making it faster to generate. So for the hardware folder I've created, if I wanted to act on that, say, as its own independent thing where I can turn it on or off, say my vendor doesn't want to see all of the BOM data for hardware, I could go and create a new checkbox input. Let's call that hardware as well. And then now I can choose to again act on that new folder I created and configure suppression in the hardware table. Unsuppress it when it is active. And there you go. You can also do the same thing for mate features. So say you had a group of mates you wanted to act on, you could again make a subfolder and then choose to configure them in any of your tables, providing a lot of flexibility. So the key takeaways are, for configurability, group and describe folders by function, not just category. Definitely double check that you've included everything you want to include and don't include things you don't want to include, otherwise you'll be acting on them in your configuration. I would also recommend using this folderization process, whether or not you're planning to act on those folders with configuration tables. It just makes it a really clean assembly. You'll be thanking yourself later when you're trying to sift through and organize it or provide or share this data with team members or your vendors. And also, all of the same configurability with folders works in Part Studios as well. So that's it. Subfolders and Onshape are really great for organization, but also for configuration tables. If you use this, it should really improve your efficiency, make your assemblies cleaner, and your configuration tables a lot leaner. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and let me know in the comments. We'll catch you next time.